I'm going to call the Neighborhood Development Committee meeting to order. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Alderman Moore.
Here.
Alderman Villa.
Here.
Alderman Arnowitz. Here. Alderwoman Ingracia.
Present.
Alderwoman Tyus. Alderwoman Murphy. Here. Alderwoman Spencer.
Present.
Chairman Boyd. 6 present. You have a quorum.
The first bill we'll be hearing this morning is Board Bill 86, Alderman Roddy.
Hi, Madam Chairman, Chairwoman. I'm sorry, I didn't hear which bill did you want me to take up first?
86.
86, which is...
Chouteau Av.
Okay, thank you. Madam Chairman, members of the committee, this was a bill that we had originally, this is a project that we originally passed a TIF for, and our hope was to have a grocery store as part of the overall development. Unfortunately, grocery store did not materialize. Our residential density in the area isn't sufficient enough to develop an urban grocery store. But this project is nonetheless very, very important for the Grove section of the city. This is at the intersection of Chouteau and Sarah, kind of across the street from the legendary White Castles there. What used to be Commerce Bank was there. Commerce Bank has reduced the size of their facility, and that freed up several acres. And on those several acres, the intent is to build 271 residential units, 20,000 square foot of retail space, 565 structured parking spaces that would be augmented with 50 on-street parking spaces. It's a 4-story building. And what's significant about this is that it's new construction, it's very dense, and it's really going to set the tone for Vanaventer. If you can imagine, if you can help visualize with me, as you get off 44 coming from the west, there's a Vanaventer exit there that you can then take north to IKEA. And as you go through that, you're going to be passing the Forest Park Southeast neighborhood. And right behind this site, there's actually an exit from Highway 40 from the west as well. So that whole stretch of Vanaventer is today kind of warehouses and kind of gritty industrial area that is in different stages of disrepair. And the traffic count for IKEA is, they're going to be attracting about 2 million visitors a year, or to kind of break that down, 40,000 a week. 60% of that will be on weekends, so they'll be getting about 24,000 weekend visitors. And we think that represents a unique opportunity for the city. And the hope is instead of doing typical kind of suburban style strip retail, that we could go ahead and begin developing kind of an urban density. And this project, we hope, will set the tone for that. It's, I think, kind of unique, certainly for the Forest Park Southeast area. And we're seeking 10 years of tax abatement for it. As part of that, we've required the developer to put in extra parking and then do a significant amount of streetscape work that needs to be done along the Manchester frontage. In addition to that, we're trying to create a surplus of parking to support all of the emerging nightclubs that are developing over there. So they're making a contribution to our parking fund as well. The project is over a $50 million project, and would like to seek your committee's support for this.
Thank you, Alderman Roddy. Alderman Villa, do you have any questions?
No, thank you, Madam Chairman.
Alderwoman Murphy? No. Alderwoman Spencer?
No.
Oh, Alderman Moore. I didn't even know you snuck in here.
I faded into
You're so quiet. Do you have any questions?
I sure don't like Alderman Villa.
No questions.
Alderman Arnowitz.
No questions at this time.
Can I get a motion on Board Bill 86?
I make a motion that we do pass.
Second?
Board Bill 86.
Second.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Moore. Alderman Villa.
Aye.
Alderman Arnowitz.
Aye.
Alderwoman Ingracia.
Aye.
Alderwoman Tyus. Alderwoman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderwoman Spencer.
Aye.
Chairman Boyd. 6 aye votes do pass.
Now we'll move to Board Bill 87.
You know, I admitted just as an introduction, Green Street brought a representative down with them. I just want to introduce him. It's passed out now and somewhat superfluous, but Brian Pratt from Green Street is with us today. I apologize, Madam Chairman. Did you have any drawings or anything you just want to show them, or?
Very quickly, this is a quick sketch elevation of the project. We'll have 20,000 square feet of retail on the first floor with 271 market rate apartments and 565 parking garage spaces to help not only the development, but as Alderman Roddy mentioned, overflow parking for the neighborhood district. So I'm very excited. Hope to be under construction at the very end of the year and opening in mid-2017.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. The next project is 1470 South Vandeventer, and this is a vacant building, and this is actually on Vandeventer, not far from the project we just talked about. And of course, as I was saying, we were talking about doing retailing. This isn't retailing. This is actually a business that's moving in from St. Louis County, and collectively, I believe this is, Mike, this is Metaplex, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so this is, we're hopeful that this project will go through. Those of you who are on the Ways and Means Committee, this is you heard testimony last week from someone who is in the home health care business talking about Medicare reimbursements, and this is a real situation. We have a business that's located in Olivet. It has 500 home health care attendants that works for it. This particular facility would be their headquarters. They would have 16 full-time and 5 part-time people working there. But the 500 employees are reimbursed by Medicare, and they would have difficulty locating in the city should the minimum wage bill pass, because their reimbursement rates are capped at $15 an hour. In any event, the hope is to turn this into the headquarters for Metaplex, which is a home health care company that is currently located in Olivet.
Alderman Moore, do you have any questions?
No.
Alderman Villa?
Are there any pictures, Madam Chairman? He does this all the time.
Some statistics: it's a 23,000 square foot of office space, 25 off-street parking, 21 jobs. It'd be associated, 16 full-time, 5 part-time. Acquisition price of the property was $500,000. The construction budget is just under $800,000.
No questions, Madam Chairman. Thank you.
Alderman Arnowitz?
No questions.
Alderwoman Murphy?
No questions.
Oh, hi. Alderman Spencer?
No questions.
Alderman Boyd?
No questions.
Can I get a motion on Board Bill 87?
Madam Chairman, I move that Board Bill number 87 be passed out of committee with a due pass recommendation.
Second. Previous roll.
We can't. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Moore.
Here.
Aye.
Alderman Villa.
Aye.
Alderman Arnowitz.
Aye.
Alderwoman Ingracia.
Aye.
Alderwoman Tyus. Alderwoman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderwoman Spencer.
Aye.
Chairman Boyd.
Aye.
7 aye votes do pass.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman.
Thank you, Alderman.
Members.
The next board bill we hear is Board Bill 90.
Good morning, Madam Chairman and members of the committee. Board Bill 90 is for 10-year tax abatement of 3447 Humphrey. It's being done by Garcia Properties, and it's in the Tower Grove East neighborhood. It's a significant renovation. I know that the exterior pictures aren't that bad, but obviously if he has to put $165,000 into it, the interior is pretty bad. He's been a good developer in that area. He's done things in the 8th Ward previously. So I would, and Tower Grove East is also a community that we're trying to take advantage of, some trends of younger people moving in there and get some of those properties back online. And I'll take any questions.
Alderman Moore?
No question.
Alderman Villa?
No question.
Alderman Arnowitz?
No questions.
Alderwoman Murphy? Alderwoman Spencer? Chairman Boyd?
Alderwoman, do you have a question?
Okay, I have a question. Alderman Conway, is this a duplex or converted to a single family, or is it looks like a duplex?
It's a 2 into a 1.
Okay, that's all.
Can I get a motion on Board Bill 90?
Make a motion that we pass Board Bill
90.
90 with the due pass recommendation.
Second.
Previous row.
Hearing no objection to previous roll, Board Bill 90 comes out of committee with a due pass recommendation.
Thank you.
Alderwoman Flowers, Board Bill,
That's Board Bill 85.
I don't have that.
Alderman Conway?
Don't go. Wait. She said you had another.
Oh, is he doing Megan Green's?
We don't have any.
I have 80.
I'm sorry. Board Bill number 85 is actually in the 5th. It's not in the 15th Ward. I'm more than happy to handle it or have that.
It's at the very end.
There, you want to come up and do this? Oh, it's a Garcia, too. Okay, go ahead. If she's...
Go ahead.
Hello. Is this Board Bill 87?
85.
85.
Mm-hmm.
Is 3862 Humphrey Street in the Tower Grove South neighborhood, 15th Ward. The developer is Garcia Properties, LLC. Berto Garcia is a developer who we've done many projects in the Tower Grove South area and other parts of the city. It's a renovation of a 2-family into a single family. Get the pictures. The purchase price, $105,000. Construction is just under $200,000. It'll be a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, just under 2,500 square feet. It'll also have a 2-vehicle carport, and he's applying for historic tax credits. Alderwoman Green supports a 5-year tax abatement, and staff concurs. We have been trying to go down from 10 to 5, and particularly in this area, it's in a MVA Class A with a bordering area that's D, so we kind of look at each one. But Garcia's a developer that we like, and they've done a lot of projects and seem to sell their properties right when they're finished with them.
Alderman Moore, do you have any questions?
No.
Alderman Villa?
The reason for the 5 years, I assume, is just an aldermanic.
It is, and then we have a group that looks at all the projects, and we looked at the area, the neighborhood, the permit activities, one of the highest in the city, so we felt it could benefit more from a 5 than a 10.
Both on Humphrey, though.
Yes.
The previous bill was on Humphrey also, and that's fine.
That was east of Grant. I think that's another.
Oh, my.
There's kind of a fine line close to where this is. But the other one was east of Grand, so this is right near Tower Grove Park.
I live east of Grand, and I consider that a personal affront.
I do too.
Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Alderman Arnowitz.
So this is a two-family, now it's going to be converted to one single home, one family home, is that what?
That's correct.
Okay, all right, no more questions, thank you.
Alderwoman Murphy. Alderwoman Spencer. No questions. Chairman Boyd.
Mike, how much is the sale price projected to be?
The proposal's $375.
75, and how much in renovation?
The construction budget's $200.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Can I get a motion on Board Bill 85? Can I get a second?
Second.
Previous.
Hearing no objection to previous roll, Board Bill 85 comes out of committee with a due pass recommendation. Alderwoman Flowers, Board Bill 84.
Good morning, Madam Chairman and members of the committee. Here, Donna. Board Bill 84 is 825 through 885 East Taylor, which is the old Wonder Bread Company, where we used to have our wonderful Hostess Twinkies and Ding Dongs, and I haven't had one in a while. I might have to go buy one. The owner is here, Mr. Mark Cusimano, who said he had some great memorabilia inside there, but he tried to give his children some Twinkies and they didn't want them. So I had to go back and taste them, see what they taste like these days. But this particular property, he bought it for $2.6 million. He did $800,000 worth of renovations. He painted the outside of the building, which is a pretty huge structure. Very nice paint job, I will say. It's at the corner of Broadway and East Taylor, which is kind of cat-a-corner to the Love's Travel Center, across the street from another development that happened in a TIF, Raven Tires and Gedeke. It's a 400,000 square foot space. He's expecting 400 full-time jobs and about 44 trucks a day, which is an industrial area. They're asking for a 5-year tax abatement. He doesn't know what he's going to do with the front of the building, which you used to be able to buy your Hostess things and brands, but he's looking for a possible tenant, so we'll see what could happen there. So I'm asking for your favorable consideration.
Thank you, Alderman. Alderman Moore, do you have any questions?
No questions.
Alderman Villa?
Alderman, do they have a tenant that's going in?
He's actually running what he does is he houses products for different businesses, and then he actually ships it for them, and he can come up and explain it, but that's really what he does. So most of his employees are warehouse and forklift drivers. So he is actually running the company himself, but the front of the building is not occupied. And I don't know if the whole 400,000 square space is, but this is kind of what he does. He buys property, he turns it into something that's productive, which I'm very happy for because it's been vacant for some time, but he is actually going to be running the business himself.
This is not a fair question of you. Is it the same Cusimano family that bought the Crundon Martin building? You just nodded yes. Thank you, Alderman.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Alderman Arnowitz?
Yes, thank you. Alderman, Broadway and Taylor now, is that where the old Bi-State building was, or is that
It's across the street from the Bi-State terminal.
Okay, I was wondering. I knew where the old Bi-State was when I used to go up there with my uncle and ride the bus.
And I was here a couple of weeks ago. There's a hotel going right across the street from Love's Travel Center. This area has really kind of caught fire there. There's a lot of good things going on there with Green Street doing a lot of development, and it's really kind of boosting its way back up and moving north. Thank goodness.
So it's across the street from
the
old
bus
Bi-State.
terminal. Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you.
Alderwoman Murphy? Alderwoman Spencer?
Yes, so this is an industrial area, is that
Yes.
correct? Are there any residential streets along the property?
No.
But there are going to be a lot of trucks coming in and out of the building, right?
Right, it's
And
actually.
All the streets are appropriate for the trucks,
Oh,
et
absolutely, because
cetera?
with Wonder Bread, they had a lot of truck traffic, and it was a warehouse for them, and we actually had to angle the parking to help them out a little bit. But it's right off the highway at Broadway and 70, and, yeah, it's, trucks are allowed on the road, and there's no residential property unless you want to call the cemetery. That's about the closest residential property we have.
Mr. Cusimano, you're aware that we still have an issue with the trucks using the residential roads in the 20th Ward on one of your properties, correct?
I'm well aware of that.
Okay, so just if there's no residential issues, streets.
Not
then-
in this ward.
Chairman Boyd?
Yes, Dionne Flowers, how many full-time jobs did you say there are?
40.
Oh, 40, okay. I'd like to ask Mr. Cusimano to come to the mic, please. Good morning. I just have a simple question for you. So out of your 40 employees, can you tell me what your lowest salary scale is?
$12 an hour.
$12. Okay, thank you.
And I will say that in conversation with him a couple weeks ago, he was very much in support of minimum wage because he says the higher you pay them, the better they are, and he has no problem with that. So we had a pretty deep conversation about that. He believes in paying his employees well to keep them because you get good, qualified employees.
Thank you. No further questions.
I'll entertain a motion on Board Bill 84.
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Previous roll.
Hearing no objection to previous roll, Board Bill 84 comes out of committee with a due pass
Thank you.
recommendation. Alderman Ortman, Board Bill 91. Looks like you're going to be up here with us for a while.
Thank you, Madam Chairman, committee members. I guess I'll get some pictures up first. Board Bill 91 is a large, very historic property. It's a Charles home. The developers are the Charles Home Developers LLC, and it's a renovation of a historic structure and a new construction addition. The purchase of the property was $1.6 million, construction budget of $8.5 million, and it was approved with the MHDC tax credits. And it'll be 71 senior housing units, 47 units in the historic building, 24 in the new construction addition, 34 one-bedroom units, and 37 two-bedroom units with 84 parking spaces. And it'll be a 15-year, because of the MHDC tax credits, it'll be a 15-year tax abatement.
Thank you, Alderman. Alderman Moore, do you have any questions?
No question.
Alderman Villa?
Do the Missouri housing tax credits dictate the 15 years, Alderman?
Yes, sir.
Is it fair to ask, once the building is rehabbed, are they going to be, are the units subsidized in any fashion?
Dale?
That's why I asked, Dale. Okay.
I think that'll come out, when they start filling the units. I would think, only my opinion. Yes.
I do too. It's X percentage of the median income, which is, and that's fine. That's who lives there.
Yeah. And one more point with this developer, they've been working with Five Star Senior Center that's up at the other end of my ward at Arsenal in Oregon, and because of the size of the building, they're going to have some space that Five Star can go into and actually start servicing seniors down at this end in the Dutchtown, Mount Pleasant area also. So that's also in the works. The important thing is to make it happen after construction starts and they get it. And as of now, they haven't closed on the building. I think they're going to close in July. They did get some more subsidy from CDA that was needed because they changed the amount of the units and made them, I think, 3 or 4 less units and made them a little bit larger so they're more marketable.
Alderman, that, not that you were responsible, but the Charlotte's home in the day was a place where, wealthy St. Louisans went to age, and it's really a neat building, so congratulations on saving it. This picture doesn't do it justice. The neat part of the building is not pictured here, and boy, that's a huge footprint. I don't know how many acres that is, but you're saving a lot of green space, and
I think it's a little over 8 acres, combined. Once the Charlotte's home shut down, I got lots of calls, and several to demo the building and put a strip mall, little strip market up there. And I told them no. And then we kind of went to work on, getting the historic designation. And actually, that all went into the works, but this company is going to follow through with actually paying for the historic designation too. And I think the total important thing is we saved it and we're bringing it back.
yeah. You certainly didn't need any more strip joints in the 9th Ward.
No, or in the city, right?
Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Alderman Arnowitz.
No, I'd just like to echo what the alderman from the 11th said. Us growing up down that way, and I mean, that was one of the, senior homes that was always talked about how well it was kept in the care up there. And now that someone's going to do this, it's just great instead of seeing that be torn down. Thank you.
Alderwoman Murphy.
No questions.
Alderwoman Spencer.
Questions?
I'll entertain a motion on Board Bill 91.
Second.
Previous row.
Hearing no objection to previous roll, Board Bill 91 comes out of committee with a due pass recommendation.
Thank you.
Board Bill 92.
This address is 2924 McNair, and it's in the Benton Park neighborhood. And the picture doesn't really show justice of what this is, but the picture to the right that's kind of really dark, take a good look at it, because this is a property that LRA actually wanted to tear down, and we all, the neighborhood fought to not tear it down, and there's actually only one room of this building left, the very front room. All the rest of the building, bricks and all, disappeared. The foundation was still there. It's always been overgrown, just a mess to try to keep up with, and get forestry to cut, because it did go to LRA, so it was a city-owned property. And the developer is Care Development, LLC. It's going to be renovated into a single family. The purchase of the property was $300 from LRA. The construction budget is $137,000. The proposed sale is $224,000. It's going to be a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,600 square foot, 2-vehicle parking pad, and they've also, and the developer, one of the partners, Tim Kane, actually, they fought for the historic tax credits, or I shouldn't say fought, I should say applied and worked with the state to get them. They finally got them. And this will be a 5-year tax abatement, and there's 2 partners, it's Tim and Carolyn, and they both live in Benton Park in the 2900 block of Indiana. So it's really a great project at the same time. And if you get in Benton Park, drive by, they've actually got the addition all up and framed. So it's going to be a wonderful project, but from the front, you can't hardly see the back addition that they put there. So it's really working out well. And I request your favorable support.
Alderman Moore, do you have any questions?
No.
Alderman Villa.
Alderman, you said they paid $300 for it?
From LRA, yes. And I think that was too much myself.
So, that's what I paid for my last car, $300.
Mm-hmm.
That's enough. Thank you, Madam Chair. No further questions.
Alderman Arnowitz. Alderwoman Murphy. No questions. Alderwoman Spencer. Chairman Boyd.
No questions.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion on Board Bill 92.
So moved.
Second.
Hearing no objection to previous roll, Board Bill 92 comes out of committee with a due pass recommendation. Board Bill 93.
Here's the pictures. This is also a project that's in the Benton Park neighborhood. The developer is Darrell Brown. He's one of the private developers that are actually seeking out properties and converting them to two-family. This is the renovation of a two-family into single-family, and this is kind of what he's been doing. The purchase price of the property was $95,000, construction budget of $90,000, and the proposed sale price will be $275,000. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,938 square foot, and there's 2 off-street parking spaces, and it's a 5-year tax abatement.
Alderman Moore, do you have any questions?
No.
Alderman Villa?
Alderman, has Bill Brown done anything in your ward prior to this?
Darrell Brown, yes.
What's Darrell Brown? Okay, thank you. No further questions.
Alderman Arnowitz?
No question.
Alderwoman Murphy? Alderwoman Spencer?
Just one question. Was the building originally built with the 3 stories? From the photo, it looks like that was kind of added on later. I'm just asking out of curiosity.
I don't really know, but it could have been added on later because they've done a lot of that. Probably 40 or 50 years ago.
It's just an odd-looking building.
Mm-hmm.
Madam Chairman, I think that was done with Legos, if you look closely. That 3rd floor.
Is that the code?
Back then, I don't know that we had a code.
Chairman Boyd? I'll entertain a motion on Board Bill 93.
So moved. Second.
Hearing no objection to previous roll, Board Bill 93 comes out of committee with a due pass recommendation. Board Bill 94.
Board Bill 94 is also in the Benton Park neighborhood. The developer is Orlando Askins. The address is 2104 Sydney. It's the renovation of a single family. The purchase price was $55,000. Construction budget is $112,000, and the proposed sale price is $220,000. And I guess I better give you the pictures first. So it's a 5-year tax abatement, and it's a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath, 2,000 square foot with 2-vehicle carport in the back. And it's a 5-year tax abatement.
Alderman Moore, do you have any questions? Alderman Villa?
No questions, Madam Chairman.
Alderman Arnowitz?
No question.
Alderwoman Murphy? Alderwoman Spencer?
No questions.
Chairman Boyd? I'll entertain a motion on Board Bill 94.
Second.
Hearing no objection to previous roll, Board Bill 94 comes out of committee with a due pass recommendation. Board Bill 95.
Board Bill 95 is, the address is 2739 Arsenal. It's in the Benton Park West neighborhood. The developer is Rubicon Corporation. The project is the renovation of an unoccupied 2-family. The cost is $1 acquisition cost, and this is a CDA project with the assistance of CDA. The renovation costs are going to be $400,000+, and the asking price is $165,000, and I'll get the pictures out. This building is a little unique because it's got a front building and a rear building And the existing two-family is approximately 2,300 total square foot. Proposed two single-family units. 2739A is a two-bedroom, 1.5 bath. That'll be approximately 1,600 square foot. And then 2939B will be a one-bedroom, one bath, and it's about 700 square foot. And it'll have two-car parking pad in the rear, and it's a 5-year tax abatement. That's a mouthful.
Thank you, Alderman. Alderman Moore, do you have any questions?
No.
Alderman Villa?
Alderman, would you quickly run through the purchase and then the redevelopment price and then the sale price for me?
The acquisition was $1. Okay, and then this is one of the NOFA projects that they applied through CDA for the gap financing. And the renovation cost is approximately $400,000+, and then the asking price will be $165,000. And then it's not clear if that's for both, Dale, or is it for one? So it would be $165,000 for both. I always thought it would be kind of a family, mother-in-law's quarter in the back, or father-in-law, or, you know, you put the relative that doesn't have a place to live back in their own unit behind it.
Or in your case, Pat could put you back there.
That's probably where I would end up.
Yeah. You know, contemplating those numbers, this is a great country. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Alderman Arnowitz? Alderwoman Murphy? Alderwoman Spencer? Chairman Boyd?
Yeah, out of curiosity, how far back does the second house sit from the original house?
I don't know what's in between, but it's all the way back, like on the alley.
Near the alley?
And then it's a wider lot, and they can get the parking spaces on the side. You know, when developers first started looking at this, they didn't know it was two separate houses. I had to tell them that, so. The picture's kind of deceiving.
Is this the front of the house or the back of the house? The little, the
The
small.
top picture's the front.
And this is the back. And there's the alley about here.
Yeah.
I'll entertain a motion on Board Bill 95.
So moved.
Second.
Previous row.
Hearing no objection to previous rule, Board Bill 95 comes out of committee with a due pass recommendation. Board Bill 96.
Board Bill 96 is also in the Benton Park West neighborhood, and the developer is the same, Rubicon Corporation, and it's the renovation of two unoccupied two-family units. The acquisition cost is $97,405. With the assistance of CDA funding, the renovation cost will be $529,400. The asking price on 3169 Iowa will be $105,000, and the asking price on 3171 Iowa will be $95,000. The amenities are existing two-family units, proposed two single-family units. 3169 Iowa will be a three-bedroom, two-bath, about 1,700 square feet. 3171 Iowa is a two-bedroom, two-bath, approximately 1,000 square feet, and it'll be a new two-car parking pad in the rear. It's a 5-year tax abatement, and these properties, pictures coming, these properties have been kind of a pain, because if anyone's familiar with Booth Manor, they're right to the south of Booth Manor. And there's actually a neighbor that's right to the south that has just got a beautiful garden, yard, house that they really keep up. And then there's these properties that are toward the alley that have been a dumping ground for the illegal dumping, because they're city-owned properties. And in fact, we just put 2 cameras up there and actually caught the dumpers, which was a plus. So But I mean, it was bad. When they first put the camera up, I requested a cleanup, and the neighbor called and said that it was dumped on again, you know, refuge and forestry. They went out and cleaned the whole thing up. Well, the camera that was pointing at it was filled by city workers doing the cleanup. There were over 3,000 pictures of city workers doing the cleanup. I learned a valuable lesson there. You know, once they do the cleanup, they need to clear the camera or the memory chip on the camera too. So, but the important thing is, you know, we found out who was doing it. And we sure don't want to have a development, you know, like this, new people coming in, and then have idiots dumping, doing illegal dumping behind them. So hopefully that's resolved, and I guess I'll request your favorable support for the tax abatement.
Alderman Moore, do you have any questions?
No.
Alderman Villa?
Alderman, I don't know what Booth Manor is. What is Booth Manor?
Booth Manor is a senior facility
Okay.
that was built back in the Boosie days, or actually Marty started it and, you know, got the funds for it, and, you know, then when I got elected, kind of finished the project up. There used to be an old ice house there, so it's a new facility. I think there's 75 units in it. I could be wrong. It's been a long time since I've looked at how many units are in Booth Manor.
Was it refreshing to see that all those city workers, after you viewed the footage, didn't stop once until they got that lot completely cleared?
I didn't get to see the footage. The trash task force did that, but I'm sure that everyone that was watching them, you know, a lot of neighbors have complained about this dumping, and a lot of the neighbors were really happy to see it get cleaned up the way it did. The tricky part was getting the cameras up without anyone seeing it, you know, because the bad guys kind of watch that stuff too now. So, but, you know, we were successful.
Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Alderman Arnowitz?
No questions.
Alderwoman Murphy?
No questions. It's just nice to see so much going on in your ward.
Alderwoman Spencer?
No questions.
Chairman Boyd?
No questions.
I'll entertain a motion on Board Bill 96.
So moved.
Second.
Hearing no objection to previous roll, Board Bill 96 comes out of committee with a due pass recommendation. Board Bill 89.
Thank you.
Oh, no, that's it for you. I just was going to keep on going.
I can do some more.
Well, is anybody here for Alderwoman Davis, Board Bill 89?
Board Bill 89 is 3819 Shaw Boulevard in the Shaw neighborhood, but it's in the 19th Ward. The developer is Orlando Askins, who will renovate this two-family bungalow into a single-family home for sale. His purchase price was $50,000, total construction $136, and his proposed sale price is $250. It'll be a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, just under 2,500 square feet, and he will also do his signature 2-vehicle carport. This is a developer that does maybe 5 or 6 projects a year for the past 3 years at least that I know, and there were some bumps in the road at the beginning, and now I think he's got a formula down where he's having success selling his projects. He's out of California. We looked at this one and recommended a 10-year tax abatement, and Alderwoman Davis supports this 10-year tax abatement.
Alderman Moore, do you have any questions?
No.
Alderman Villa?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Describe for me khakis, and then after khakis, a signature carport.
Khakis.
Yes, that's all right. It's a television ad. But you said a signature carport?
Well, he does the same carport on every project, so it's become his signature carport, I guess. But they're nice. They work, I guess.
A lot of developers are doing this now. What started out to
Dale. Dale.
Oh.
Can you come to the mic?
Sure. it's a carport that can be used for entertaining and all in a fairly small backyard, but it has a garage door, usually with an electric opener on it. So from the alley, it looks like a garage. You can't tell it's a carport. But you can go in and out with the garage door, so it gives complete security. But then, rather than having walls around, that would limit it pretty much to automobile use, because it is a carport, you can use it for entertaining in your backyard by having your cars out on the street for that particular event. So you can have all your barbecues out there and everyone's undercover if it's raining or whatever in the carport. And there are no walls. There are no walls except for the garage door. Except for the garage door. Yeah, and then you fence in the backyard, with a security fence of some sort, and so you have complete security, but it really maximizes the use of that space. I see. Yeah, but then your car gets dusty. Well, it may, but the rain never gets on it.
Yeah. There is a roof.
Thank you. I'm learning something here, Madam Yeah, Chairman. there is Thanks. a roof, right. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Alderman Arnowitz? Alderwoman Murphy? Alderwoman Spencer? Chairman Boyd?
Yes, Mike, I have a question. From the photo, it looks like it's a two-family.
Correct.
Is it going to remain a two-family?
No, it's a two-family to single-family conversion.
Okay, out of curiosity, would they use either door or they seal the door off?
He doesn't go for historic tax credits, but when we reviewed the project, one will be fixed shut.
Okay.
But it'll look like a door. They'll take the hardware off.
Okay. Thank you. No further questions.
I'll entertain a motion on Board Bill 89.
So moved.
Second.
Hearing no objection to previous roll, Board Bill 89 comes out of committee with a due pass recommendation. Alderman Cone, Board Bill 97.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair and members of the committee. I appreciate you taking the time this morning to hear me out on Board Bill 97. Also appreciate your graciousness in allowing me to speak first this morning. Board Bill 97 is actually a tax abatement bill, as you've heard all morning, for a property at 4218 South 37th Street. This has been vacant for, as long as I've been alderman, but even for a number of years before then. It's a property that's just north of St. Mary's High School, for those of you that are not familiar with the area. The property had actually been, I don't know if, I know you all love photos, having served on this committee
Alderman,
for 2
this
years.
is why you were last this morning. You're
Thank
not
you.
together.
So, thank you, Alderman from the 13th. So, 12th, I know, I'm kidding. Anyways, this was actually owned by a family that ended up not having anyone to pass along the house to. Their son ended up passing inside the house, was found a number of weeks after he had passed by one of the neighbors, and then subsequently went into LRA receivership, and I believe actually was acquired through the NSP program. I think it's the NSP property, if I'm not mistaken. So, which was a program that was started underneath the Recovery Act and has funding in place through CDA for the assistance and redevelopment. So I'm asking for 10 years tax abatement. The property is, the developer is Rubicon. It's going to be acquired from the city for $0. They're providing some construction assistance for a construction budget of $185,000, and the projected sales price is going to be more than likely around $117,000. I think they might be able to get more out of it, but that's kind of where things are at the moment.
Alderman Moore, do you have any questions? Alderman Villa?
No questions, Madam Chairman.
Alderman Arnowitz?
No question.
Alderwoman Murphy? Alderwoman Spencer? Chairman Boyd?
Yes, I have a question. I just know a little bit about the NSP program, and I thought when property going to foreclosure, we were able to capture it through NSP. So it went through a bank foreclosure?
It did, yeah. The son who passed away wasn't able to pay the note, obviously, anymore, and so it went into bank receivership before the LRA or CDA acquired it, and now it's in LRA.
And how much did CDA acquire for?
Gosh, that was 7 years ago. It couldn't have been more than, I would say, $20,000 through the NSP program.
And it was sold for zero?
It will be.
Okay.
So, I mean, this is one of the few NSP properties that's in my ward, even though we were one of the hardest hit neighborhoods with foreclosures in the city. A lot of that money ended up going to wards outside of the Dutchtown neighborhood. And there was absolutely no recovery of those funds. We hope to at least recover $117,000 and recapture that upon sale.
How many bedrooms are in this house?
It's a 2-bedroom house.
There's a 2-bedroom?
It's actually, I had the opportunity to go through it when it was first, acquired through the program, and there were some pretty cool things inside of there. There was actually a grocery bag that said, 44 shops to choose from, all your shopping needs on Merrimack, Virginia, and Grand. It was pretty cool. But yeah, it's in some serious need of repair. You can't really tell from the photographs, but the garage it needs to be demolished. The front stoop, most of the stoops in the city have those nice little ceramic tiles on them. Well, the front stoop on this one has fallen into the basement, so you can't really see that from the photograph, but there is no stoop anymore, so it has to all be reconstructed.
Okay, the construction budget is $185?
Correct.
And is it going to be owner occupied, or is it for sale?
It's for sale, so I would
What's the
imagine
sale
it would
price projected to be?
$117.
They're going to put $185 into it. Are they getting some gap money from CDA?
That would be right. There's the gap financing through the NSP program.
Through the NSP program, not through the Community Development Block Grant
Correct.
program. Okay. No further questions. Oh, by the way, I didn't want you to be last, but you walked out the room because you could have been before the last one, just for the record, sir. No further questions.
Alderman Villa?
I wanted you to be last. Alderman, is this at 37th and Merrimack Street? Is that a 4-way stop sign I see?
That's at 38th Street, sir.
Oh, 38th is where you have that dumb stop sign?
That's, and that's
Okay.
a 3-way stop because there's no street on the north side of Merrimack. It doesn't continue through Merrimack. It's a 3-way stop. But yes, I'm aware that you rolled through it on accident.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. No further question.
I'll entertain a motion on Board Bill 97.
So moved. Second.
Objection? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Moore. Aye. Alderman Villa. Aye. Alderman Arnold. Aye. Alderwoman Ingracia.
No.
Alderwoman Tyus. Alderwoman Murphy. Aye. Alderwoman Spencer.
Aye.
Chairman Boyd.
I'm going to vote with you, Shane. Aye.
I appreciate that, Alderman.
6 aye votes, 1 no vote.
Board Bill 97
remembered.
comes out of committee with a due pass recommendation. Thank you, Alderman.
Thank you. I appreciate your favorable consideration.
Neighborhood development is over. Let's do parks.
Okay. Adjourn.
Yeah, give us a minute, yeah. We got a few minutes, but we got to settle. I think. This is my third, yeah. Oh, sure you are.